I need to know what's happening.
This planet is dying. The human race is killing it.
So you've come here to help us?
I said I came to save the Earth.
You came to save the Earth from us.
We can't risk the survival of this planet for the sake of one species.
What are you saying?
If the Earth dies, you die. If you die, the Earth survives.
We can change. We could still turn things around.
We've watched, we've waited and hoped that you would change.
Please.
It's reached the tipping point. We have to act.
Please.
We'll undo the damage you've done and give the Earth a chance to begin again.
Don't do this. Please. We could change. We can change.
The decision is made. The process has begun.
Hey everyone, it's Billy Root from 58 Magazine, and thank you for watching The Art of Dreaming. These films are about the second attention, the power to see the unseen. In order to change the world on the outside, we must change it on the inside. For our consciousness and energy is what creates reality, your life, your purpose, and your destiny. And in this episode, I will talk about the collective dream and reality is a mirror of our own personal dream and reality.
We've become bored with watching actors give us phony emotions. We're tired of pyrotechnics and special effects. While the world he inhabits is in some respects counterfeit, there's nothing fake about Truman himself. No scripts. No cue cards. It isn't always Shakespeare, but it's genuine. It's a life.
We experience society as a collective reality, which is a collective dream of all our rules, laws, religions, cultures, and behaviors. These are all different experiences of different voices of information stored in our minds, because this is based on the concept that our personal reality is a mirror of our mind. So this collective dream and reality is just a bigger mirror of the collective dream of our own personal minds.
Living from day to day, moving from place to place, with no memory of who or what you are. Shut up. Give me a chance. I may be able to help you find some answers. How do you know? You're not the only one with gifts.
Where are you going?
Where's he going? He's over there.
What are you doing?
Over here.
What is this place?
Think of your brain as a mirror. The mind uses information received by the brain to create a picture of reality. Thought is the reflection. The mind reflects its truth in its particular way. It sees what it has been taught to expect. We see and hear things according to our particular beliefs and assumptions. This reality is a reflection of our energy and our minds. We create a personal dream, which in entirety creates a collective dream. The ways that we each describe reality is unique to each of us. The difference is how each of our brains work, our minds and imagination. The mind is a mirror reflection of the truth, and mirrors merely attempt to represent what is real. The reflection is only as good as the quality of the mirror of the mind.
Words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country, isn't there?
So each of us has been taught to perceive the world in certain ways, conditional ways. We are all domesticated through a system of rewards and punishments. We fear the wrath of whatever we were taught to believe. When the main character acts like a judge, our bodies react in fear.
In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran, cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate.
The main character of everyone's story is the rule maker, the judge, and the enforcer, and also the president of a very private nation. Our thoughts follow a storyline, often with a beginning, middle, and end.
The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta, held as a votive not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous.
The story includes familiar characters, most of whom we think you know very well. And your reality is populated by other characters, not so much by actual people, but the things you think you know about these people. Events happen and the people exist, but your understanding of them is the stuff of dreams. But the real us is energy and life, pure unconditional love.
If you please, draw me a sheep. If you please, draw me a sheep. Draw me a sheep.
When a mystery is too overpowering, one dare not disobey. Draw? I don't know how to draw.
That doesn't matter.
These voices and chemicals of the body keep us from seeing what we really are.
I want a sheep that will live for a long time.
So I drew this. The sheep you asked for is inside.
That is exactly the way I wanted it. Do you think the sheep will eat a great deal of grass? Because where I live, everything is very small.
Well, I'm sure there'll be enough grass for him. He's a very small sheep.
Not so small that... Look, he's gone to sleep.
We are energy, creating a dream in matter.
In the moonlight, I looked at his pale forehead, his closed eyes, his locks of hair that trembled in the wind. And I said to myself, what I see here is nothing but a shell. What is most important is what is invisible.
Once you imagine something, it's alive in a virtual landscape. You read, listen, and create a world to exist in. If you choose, you can make ideas come to life in the world of people and places. This is how you built your personal reality in the first place. You watched, learned, and let desire drive you. You built real things out of ideas. You used the power of attention, memory, and imagination to become a unique human in the human dream. We are all born authentic, but it is hard to stay that way as we live in a world where beliefs have already been assigned to us.
I call it your life plan.
Life plan?
Life plan.
As we develop, we are told who we are, how we should behave, and how to respond to what we perceive. Our early training teaches us how to deceive our true selves. We learn to lie to ourselves.
And you asked that we should say things, that we should say what we're thinking and not lie about things. Well, I can tell you that I lost my gun today. I'm not a good cop. I'm looked down at, and I know that, and I'm scared that once you find that out, you might not like me. And Claudia, whatever you want to tell me, whatever you think might scare me, won't. And I will listen to you. I'll be a good listener to you if that's what you want. You know, and I won't judge you. I know I can do that sometimes, and I won't. And I can listen. And you shouldn't be scared of scaring me off or whatever you think that I think, and on. You should just say it, whatever it is, and I'll listen to you.
You don't know how fucking stupid I am.
It's okay.
You don't know how crazy I am.
It's okay.
I've got troubles, okay?
I'll take everything at face value. I'll be a good listener to you.
Our problems exist because we are taught to love with conditions. This is not just our personal problem, it's humanity's problem.
I thought that he would love me. Getting praises. For what? For something I don't even... I don't know where to put things, you know? I really do have love to give. I just don't know where to put it.
And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission.
We need cameras.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others, and they will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror.
No matter the culture, we are taught to corrupt love. We are taught to distrust the only real thing there is, life's infinite force and energy.
I saw young Americans killed by the very weapons I created to defend them and protect them. And I saw that I had become part of a system that is comfortable with zero accountability.
I had my eyes open. I came to realize that I have more to offer this world than just making things to blow up.
Now this is quite an important chapter, as you will see. But let's get down to brass tacks. Let's get right down to it, boys. Let's get right down to it. Men are shit. What? Men are shit. Well, isn't that what they say? Isn't that what, because we do bad things, don't we? We do horrible, heinous, terrible things. Things that no woman would ever do. No, women, they don't lie. No, women don't cheat. Women don't manipulate us. But you see what I'm getting at? Oh yeah, you see what I'm getting at. You see what society does? Boy, little boys, it's... Yeah, Mommy wouldn't let me play soccer, and Daddy, oh, he hit me. So that's who I am. That's why I do what I do.
We are taught to be conditional with our love with specific rules of engagement. I will love you if you do this, then I will love you, or I won't love you. Real love is unconditional.
Tony, you're too young to understand this right now, so I thought I would put it on film for you. I built this for you. And someday you'll realize that it represents a whole lot more than just people's inventions. It represents my life's work. This is the key to the future. I'm limited by the technology of my time. But one day you'll figure this out. And when you do, you will change the world. What is and always will be my greatest creation is you.
But we are taught to corrupt love and how to receive it based on conditions. A conditional reality equals a limited reality.
In love, there is no wrong.
Love. That's what you taught your family?
You're a family man, Agent Towns?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a family man too, with his keys and his gun. He's teaching his children right now. They're learning his beliefs, and they'll be living them. And you're teaching your children. Look at yourself. Judge the lies you live in. These children that come at you with knives, they're your children.
They were your followers, Charlie. You gave them the knife.
You taught them. I didn't teach them. I just tried to help them stand up.
And they stood up, went out, and killed 7 innocent people.
Well, so now it's my fault? It's my fault that your children do what they do? Your own children, who you were neglecting?
We know that no one in the family acted without your approval, Charlie.
Well, if you know, you know. You don't need to talk to me. It's yourself you need to talk to.
We see and hear things according to our particular beliefs and assumptions. Our waking dream follows physical laws and social and civic laws, but sleeping dreams happily ignore them. We follow the rules of society, but we've applied most of society's rules to our own lives. We rule ourselves through self-made laws, personal judgments, and mental intimidation.
You sound scary, huh? Not to me. If I met one, I'd kill it like that. Like that.
But how would you know if you saw one? They could look just like us.
I'd feel its head for horns. And they smell like Brussels sprouts.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Brussels sprouts bit.
Do you or do you not possess a specialized weapon?
I do not.
You do not?
I do not. Well, it depends on how you define the word weapon.
The Iron Man weapon.
My device does not fit that description.
It's a weapon. It's a weapon, Mr. Stark. I hate
Please,
to inform
if
you.
your
It's a
priority
weapon.
was actually the well-being
No, my priority
of the
is to get the
American
Iron Man
citizen,
weapon turned over to the people of the United States of America.
well, you can forget it. I am Iron Man. The suit and I are one. To turn over the Iron Man suit would be to turn over myself, which is tantamount to indentured servitude or prostitution, depending on what state you're in.
You could say that the way that we run ourselves mirrors the way things are run in the world. The mind is the government that sets the rules, and the physical body follows those rules. When we become aware of the way our mind functions, we can alter the way we rule ourselves.
Maybe I'm losing my mind, but it feels like the whole world revolves around me somehow.
It's a lot of world for one man, Truman.
Awareness is the ability to see what is, and it's never too late to open our eyes. When you have this awareness, you begin to see life less as a drama and more of a comedy. Humans suffer over things that are not important. They aren't even real.
It's fake. It's all for you.
I don't
And
understand.
the sky and the
Come on,
sea,
honey.
everything. It's a set.
I don't
It's a
believe
show.
it.
Everybody's
You'll be all right.
watching you. Please don't
Please,
listen to him.
Lauren.
He's gonna lie to you. Watching us right now.
It's all true. It's all real. Nothing here is fake. Nothing you see on this show is fake. It's merely controlled.
It is just our emotional wounds and addiction to sickness and fear, which is not real. It is only real because we believe it, and we create it in our minds. We create cities and nations all run by their own government. Every nation is made up of smaller governing bodies, and it all starts with the family. Every family is regulated by its own government.
This is your life, and I'm the only one taking any responsibility for it.
That's your version of my life, not mine. If you were ever around, you'd see that.
You know full well why I have to work so hard.
You're just like him now. Too busy, always working. How long until you completely disappear?
Parents themselves are rules by the strict lessons of their childhood. Our personal reality reflects the ways we use the same governing methods to discipline ourselves. We grew up under the influence of one governing institution after another. We have devised ways to police our own happiness. We are afraid to lose control. The ones who taught us family and culture often suppress us and put limits on our own joy. Our mind is like a government that is reflected in our own collective reality and dream. We have all built personal jails for ourselves instead of a canvas of artistic expression. Think about the ideas that define you, ideas that tell the world who you are.
Maybe I'm being set up for something. You ever think about that, Marlon? Like your whole life has been building towards something?
You're God-fearing, patriotic, and the number one fan of your home team. These may seem like admirable ways to describe yourself, but have they made your life easier? How much time do you need explaining and defending your position? Do you lay down the law to your family and friends, expecting them to be as fanatical as you are?
Just like losing my faith with humanity.
Wow, can you narrow that down for me?
I just wonder if, like, two people can stay together for good.
You mean like couples?
Yeah, like people in love.
In my opinion, the best thing you can do is find a person who loves you for exactly what you are. Good mood, bad mood, ugly, pretty, handsome, what have you. The right person's still going to think the sun shines out your ass. That's the kind of person that's worth sticking with.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I've found that person.
You may still want to start a war or just win a few battles. Either way, opinions aren't where your power lies. They're just opinions. A good argument is still just an argument.
I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you.
Your beliefs and ideologies may feel as if they are the heart and soul of you, but they're not. Cherished ideas represent a way of thinking that makes us feel safe and possibly even superior. We invest in them with a lot of emotional power, but they have no power of their own.
Fairness, justice, and freedom are more than words. They are perspectives.
Ideas and ideologies influence the way we conduct ourselves, which often feels right, but they can also harm our ability to interact and share time with others.
I know you'll be miraculous. I know you will. How beautiful you are.
If you would have the kindness to think of my needs.
But the rose began very quickly to torment him with her vanity.
I suppose you wouldn't have a screen. And at night, I want you to put me under a glass. A glass globe. Now.
My needs.
My beauty. My screen.
Now the shame of it was that they loved each other. But they were both too young to know how to love.
It's not difficult to listen without judgment. It's not that weird to say, I don't know, and disarm the moment. Let others know they have a valid input.
I've seen that you're maybe one of, 3 people in the world that likes pizza-flavored chips. You're also the only person I've ever seen that spends more time on the roof of her house than in her actual house. What are you doing? You're reading. Books, not Us Weekly or 17 or, but you're reading substantial books. You also do this, you do this thing where it's like an OCD thing, but it's not. It's, whenever you're leaving your room, you grab the doorknob and you turn, you're getting ready to leave, but you don't. You stop and you back up and you turn to the mirror and you stare at yourself. But it's not like a, I'm so hot type of stare. It's more like, who am I really? And ask yourself that. I mean, that's it's so cool. Also, you look out the window all the time like I do, only you're looking at the world, Trying to figure it out, trying to understand the world, trying to figure out why it's not in order, like your books. I'm only looking at you.
We don't always have to be right. Most of the battles that we fight are in our heads and our minds. We grapple with ideas and constantly struggle with notions of right and wrong.
Christoph, let me ask you, why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
He's not a performer, he's a prisoner. Look at him, look at what you've done to him.
He could leave at any time. If his was more than just a vague ambition, if he was absolutely determined to discover the truth, there's no way we could prevent him. I think what distresses you, really, caller, is that ultimately Truman prefers his cell.
Like most conflicts between nations, our wars with other people are public declarations of self-importance. We have a tendency to defend the main character of our story, often as if we were defending human life. Consider that for a moment. We're defending the integrity of something that isn't real.
Those we don't speak of.
Not be frightened. It is only farce. Do not be frightened.
The screams from the woods.
We created those sounds.
The ceremony of meat.
We remove it ourselves. An elder is always assigned.
The drills. They are farce.
Fear is not real.
The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity, Qatar. Now, do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. We are all telling ourselves a story.
Let me make you a present of a secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye.